I ran a little experiment the other day with some hooks that attract buyers and not viewers, and made some sales, obviously growing my LinkedIn audience to 45K and above. Was a great experiment, but this time I picked up Instagram to prove a point that with a small audience of about 2,000 people, you can still make sales. And I want to share with you today what a little bit of that looks like and behind the scenes, because a lot of people sort of produce content without thinking of what the intention is. And then they end up getting people that comment, this is a great post, love your stuff. But when it comes to actually buying, you get the people coming saying, I need to think about it, your price is too high. And that comes with studying buyer psychology. When you look at yourself and when you buy something, what was the copy like? What were the words like that made you pull that trigger? And there's a massive difference between buyers and viewers, because a lot of people, especially that are influencers or, go viral and stuff, they've mastered the craft of being big, grabbing attention, but converting attention is a different state of art. And I believe it is both an art and a science, because you're studying human behavior. And one of the findings that I had was it's all in the hook. If you can prove that you have the experience and you can trigger certain behaviors like curiosity, fear, desire, and all of that good stuff, then all of this starts to make sense, and then the buyers in the audience are triggered and they buy. So I think I would love to show you a little bit of what that looks like. Here we are. This is one of the posts, and at the time of recording this video, it is the 17th of January. This post was posted on the 14th of January. So I'm going to show it to you right here. My Instagram audience is pretty small. So you can see 3 days ago, it now has 22 likes. At the time that I took the screenshot, it had 11 likes, and I shared it into one of our groups, and it got me 9 leads. So you can see here, I recorded a 30-minute tutorial on how I hit 30K a month through writing words on a screen. Comment tutorial below and I'll send it over. And then I just added another slide that said this tutorial is 100% free and explains my content strategy, including a supplementary doc you can swipe. Just comment tutorial. And then people below were commenting tutorial and so on. But this was literally done on my Instagram stories with the default text. Not a lot of fucks were given regarding the design, but it's to prove that this is buyer behavior, and I'm going to run you through why this is it and why this works. But first I want to show you a little bit of proof. So this was my inbox when I shared it to the group, and I said one story and one post, we'll drop them below, which was this one friendly convo. That's 9 leads in less than 5 hours inbound, right? So now the results are a little bit more skewed because I've doubled up on the likes. 22 likes. But yeah, so then if you can see that the date it was posted was the 14th, then I had a funnel integrated in the back, and this turned into sales on the 14th, on the 16th, and then some today where I'm getting new customers. And then here's some more in the back of Stripe on the 15th, 16th of January, which was yesterday. I've sort of just hid these for confidentiality purposes for clients, but it's to show you that the hooks I'm about to reveal below are for buyers and not viewers, and it takes a certain adjustment in your content. Obviously, if you're enjoying this video, would love it if you hit subscribe down below, and really grateful for you. You can also subscribe to my newsletter, swipemymojo.com. I'll drop the details in the description as well, and this document that you can swipe with the 10 hooks. But here, the difference with my LinkedIn is that I had 45,000 followers. So obviously inbound leads are a thing now, but playing this little experiment with my tiny little Instagram audience that has 2,091 followers with these sort of buying behavior type prompts, if you like, and it's all in the hook. Same as this one, this has 9 likes and 18 comments, which is a very similar structure in the way that I post. And all of these have something to do with it that I will share here below. So first, I want to give you a little snapshot of what buying behavior does, right? So I've sat and screenshotted some of my analytics on LinkedIn, which shows a little bit more of what would interest the buyer. So with me as a business consultant, I'm in the business of making people more money. So I unfortunately or fortunately talk about money. So in this case, if you just see the hooks, the impressions here are trash. So if you were a viral person, you'd be like, what the hell? And I've screenshotted viewer type posts below where the impressions were double. But these ones are the posts that get me leads. So how I'm building a 1 million a year solopreneur business in 3 or 4 days a week. And then the post. I've written thousands of posts and emails, and I've driven 4.1 million in sales for clients, and then I carry on. So if you look at this behavior versus this one, aren't you tired of it? Personal brands who preach personal brands. I mean, that's opinionated, but there's a big energy shift between these two and this one. And then here we go again. February 2023, 500K in ARR. October 2024, 1.1 million in ARR. Notice the likes are getting less and less because you are calling out people at a different sophistication level. You're calling out your buyers, right? Here's another example. This is exactly what I did to go from 0 to 250 clients signed in a year. 7 steps to 30K a month that will also take me to 100K a month. So if I'm nowhere near these numbers, I'm no longer interested in this person's content. Therefore, you can see the drastic shift if we're looking at it from a viewer standpoint. There is less viewers here than in a sort of growthy post. And there's some more examples here, like how I helped a student add 7.5 hours in 6 weeks. Every entrepreneur doing less than 10 to 15K makes a singular mistake. So I'm like creating that instigation of behavior, and the people who need to pay attention do, versus how I add 2K a day without any external marketing. I tested 2 offers. One made 800K, one made 0. Here's why. If I started from 0, here's how I'd get to 30K a month in 12 months. Now this one did a bit better in view count wise, but what I'm trying to get you to understand is these hooks will call out a specific coach or consultant, let's say for me, that is looking to grow their business, right? Versus viewer type post that I used to do last year or some months back. And obviously you do need eyeballs, and you do need a balance between your posts, because if you do get more eyeballs, then you can convert them. But I'm more of like a nurture type writer, and then the growth is like sporadic. But just to show you a real-time example here, if you look at this hook, 1 necessary action needed to win in business without overwhelm. 351 likes, more impressions, even more comments, right? View type of hook. My first year on LinkedIn, blah, 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 motivational, again, more likes. I'm 100% replaceable as a solopreneur and 100% irreplaceable at home, motivational again. So naturally, when you're conscious of who you want to attract, your numbers go up, right? So again, how I write an authentic post without spending 127 hours contemplating. This one did better, but again, a how I is more like a buyer type hook. Even though we're in the viewing territory, I think naturally I go towards buying hooks. You can sort of see the difference here. When I do go motivational, when I do go growthy, the numbers show, right? But the difference is you're doing it consciously. This one got even more results. Like if you don't cringe when you look at your old content, 367. Stop giving your client options, 353. How I turn one topic into 9 posts, again, skyrocketed in views, but that was like not getting me any leads. And that is the difference between buying behavior and viewing behavior and who you're attracting. So on that note, what I've done here today is give you 10 of these types of hooks to think about. So we're looking at this as a business consultant, but this works in any industry. You could technically just switch these little bits around and give somebody more knowledge on what it is you do from a buying standpoint. So if we look at a credibility-based hook, I've helped 250 clients and 2,000 customers generate 3.4 million. Here's what I learned about making money online. So this is almost like a proof hook. When I have this and somebody's reading it, they're going, this person, number one, has credibility, and number two, he's calling me out. So I'm paying attention. If I am somebody who wants to make more money online and I see this, I'm attracting buyers. Right? If I'm somebody who just wants to grow, maybe this is of less interest to me, or if I'm in any other industry. Same goes for this. If I had to start with 0 clients and no audience, here's exactly what I do to make my first 10K online. Now, this again triggers buying behavior, but if I am a 7-figure consultant, for example, I wouldn't even flinch at this, right? Because I would swipe right past it, but we are attracting people, in this case, wanting to make 10K online. The biggest lesson after working with 250 solopreneurs, most aren't struggling because they lack effort, they're struggling because they lack clarity. So I'm giving the proof again. I'm calling out the ideal target market who I want to listen to this, and then I'm giving them the sort of subhook or continuity to that, but again triggering buying behavior. And then we've got the 3 biggest mistakes I see, again, avatar making that keep them stuck under 5K a month. Now, can you see how this would probably get a lot less views, but trigger a lot more buying behavior? So I've sort of angled these to give you an example, and then I've done storytelling hooks in a very simple way. So instead of how to, I'm using how I, so it comes across as a story. How I built a $3.4 million business by mastering offers, writing, and systems without burning out. Now, if I'm a newbie, I would swipe past. I don't know what burnout is. But if I'm a business owner and I'm curious about these things, I'm not saying paid ads. I'm not saying SEO. I'm being really specific about who I'm calling out and the type of person I am looking for. I'm not saying sales calls either, right? I want somebody who's writing driven and likes offers or wants to fix their offer. Here, when I made my first 1,000 online, I thought I'd cracked the code. Then I realized I was doing it all wrong. Again, somebody who wants to make more money or is looking actually in this scenario to make their first buck online is making a bunch of mistakes, and they would be curious. I spent 6 months creating content that no one bought from until I learned this one thing about offers. Now, how many people would resonate with this, right? Like if I am a viral guru who's getting a lot of likes and I can't sell to save my life, might be curious, right? 3 years ago, I was struggling to get anyone to buy my offers. Here's what changed everything. So again, if I am a complete beginner in this case, and I haven't sold a single thing, or if I'm somebody a little more sophisticated who's struggling, I would pause at this and go, I want to know this story. And the same applies with these step-by-step hooks, right? Like the 3-step process I use to create offers that generate 10K every month. Call them out. The 5 things every solopreneur, here's my avatar, needs to hit their first 5K month. Now, hopefully this has got your head spinning, and I know I've done it from a business consultant standpoint because this is what I do, but it works in any sort of industry. And what I did here inside our school group is prompt to sort of go over this and look at it, but I've given you 10 of these examples to get you thinking. Obviously, if you want this prompt, you're more than happy to join us. There's a lot of things going on here inside Modern Maker. Let's have a look here. But what I'll do is I'll just leave these links here. If you found any value, you can always follow me on LinkedIn or Instagram or join my newsletter, because I do give these sorts of insights on a daily basis. And if you want to sort of up your content game, generate inbound leads through your content without any sales calls and all that, with a very simple mechanism, which is one offer, one funnel, and then repeating that, you can join us on Skool. So I'll leave the link here. But your attention means the world to me, and obviously I will drop this again in the description below so you can have a whirl and study it, and hope you learned something from it. So as a little summary of what we did today, we're looking at buying behavior versus viewing behavior, and it all starts with mastering your hooks. So the challenge to you, obviously growth is cool, but sometimes you need to get less likes and more money in the bank. And that starts with understanding the sophistication levels of our buyers, fixing and tweaking our hooks, and being really confident in ourselves, because a lot of people fear rejection. You know, we fear that we're going to get that no, and therefore we shy away from content that is literally going to get somebody to pull the trigger. So I'd love to leave you with that note today, and I'll see you in the next one. Power to you.